All right, Lisa, just a couple quick things here to help improve your code and just make things work a little better for you. You're doing things very well. Just a couple little things here and there that will really fix things up for you. All right, one thing. On your homepage, this page looks really well formatted. Everything's in the right spot. I like that you've indented your code here, so everything looks good. The one thing I would do is add a description of what this page is and the author information as well. You can definitely include that author information, and you can say this is your ICS3U online learning projects page or something like that. Okay, so that's just some description for meta crawlers. Now, the reason your background isn't showing up, so all this looks good, and you're linking to your style sheet right here, which is good. The only thing I would do here is I would tab that. Okay. Now, you've got a style sheet that exists, so you could have actually put this tag here in that style sheet. Okay. But the reason it's not showing up is because you've got a semicolon there, and it should be a colon, like so. The semicolons go at the end of each of those tags there. Okay. So I've saved that, and when I upload this, there you go. So it works out nicely. Now that actually looks pretty cool. So that's one thing that's pretty handy. Now another thing that we can do. So in your styles page, when that opens, so here we go. Now what you'll notice here is that you've already got this body tag here. So what you could actually do, rather than making it inline here, since you are linking to a style sheet, this is totally fine. However, this could be a problem. Having this background here, this could cause a problem. So I'm just gonna delete that. Okay. And you could, even if you were so inclined, you could take this all together and you could move it into here. Okay, it's the same thing. I'll leave it here for now because that's where you put it. Another interesting thing you can try. This thing here, the background. So we've called it Parastyle. See how it says class equals Parastyle? When I go over to styles, here's the dot. The dot means class. So it says class Parastyle, and I click there to make sure it's open and closed. Has a background that's white. You can do something interesting here. You can actually go RGBA. So it stands for red, green, blue, and then an opacity. 255 is the maximum amount of red. 0 would be no red. So 255, and then maximum amount of green, maximum amount of blue. So full red, full green, full blue means white. If you put 0, 0, 0, that'd be no red, no green, no blue. That'd be black. You can actually look this up. This is RGB versus hex, like hexadecimal color codes. You can actually look those up. And then the opacity, if you put 1, that means it's fully opaque. But if you put 0.8, that means it's 80% opaque and 20% see-through. We'll see the effect this has. I'll upload the style sheet. Now you've got a little bit of opacity there, so you can kind of see through it, which is kind of cool. And if you want to change some colors, you know, of the link backgrounds, you can basically, this may or may not work. Yeah, so I grab that color at the back there, and instead of doing a yellow background, that color picker you can add, just call it color picker. So if you want to add that, it's on the front, it's called Colorzilla. So if you want to add that to your browser, you can certainly do that. And that's why you can just pick colors nicely. All right, so I save that, Control S, and I upload it, and Control R, reload the page, and now you've got a color that matches with your background when you roll over. Okay, that's the first thing. So we're done with that page and your index page. Now let's look at your activity 1-1. 1. All right, so here we go. You were having trouble with this down here. Now I'm not sure why it looks like that, but we'll fix that in a second. So I go to activity 1.1. Let's see. Again, author information goes here. I'd probably just put your name. Like this. Okay. Now, internal style sheet not linked. Perfect. Your URL works fine. The color. Now the background. Again, the background you've already got here. So I'll comment it out. That just means don't show it. Okay. And you've got font color, which is good. And everything looks fine. All right. Now we go to main content. You've got a heading. Now heading tags, you don't have to put in paragraphs. They're their own thing. So you don't need to put them in paragraphs. They're their own thing. So you've got a paragraph. Good. Then you put a horizontal rule. Let me just double check up here. Good. You only need to do a horizontal rule. You just do that. Okay. You don't need the opening and closing. So that's no problem. There we go. Again, you don't need the paragraph tags around these because it's a header. Welcome to the world. That's good. Bold, italic, fantastic. Everything looks good here, including line breaks. So now line breaks are different. What we're going to do is we're going to open up a paragraph. Okay. And what we're going to do instead is add line breaks. And then we'll end the paragraph. So we start the paragraph like so, and then in there we're just going to make it go down one line. Because see how spaced out yours is here? That's because you're making new paragraphs, whereas it says to use it with line breaks. So if I save this and upload it, you'll see a couple things happen. First, you won't get that color in the background when you load, which is nice. And there you go. And now it says hello, as we would have expected. Okay, you can make those capitals if you want. Make it look like a little bit better. Okay, so we have that. Upload. Everything's looking fine. Now let's get down to here. Okay, a link to Google. Fantastic. That's all good. Okay, mail to. You can change this to whichever account you want. You can just make this test.com. I don't know who that is. Hopefully no one owns that email address. There you go. All right, now here you've got a style for a font, and that's fine. But what we're gonna do instead is all the styles. So I see you've got lots of styles here. All of these styles go at the top. You don't put them down here. So we're going to take them. And we're going to move them all up here. So you should always have your styles all together at the top. That's the cleanest, nicest way to do that. Okay, Control V. There we go. And I indent them so that so everything's clean and easy to find. Okay, so I tab them. Now the one thing, p.serif. The dot means class, so you need to have a class called serif. That's okay. And then here, you've got p1. Okay, so in order to be a style or class, you need to put a dot in front of it. And in fact, you can put the p if you want, but you don't even have to. You can actually just put dot serif and dot p1. Okay, so we've got all that, and in fact we don't need this because you've got the font family down here already set, so we don't need this one. Okay, so now what I've done is I've created a class called .p1, or I guess you're calling that paragraph 1. So when you come down here, I see your mistake. This is why it looks like this. You see here how you have P1. All paragraphs are just P. And then you say add class P1 to that. And then end the paragraph. When I upload this, there you go. Now it's a paragraph and it has class P1 added to it. Down here, this is all your different colors. That all looks fine. No issues there. Using the span tag. Here again, you want to move this here up to the top, like so. And it says any unordered list with class A, make it have numbers. Okay, and down here, and ordered lists, and you call it class B. So if you don't have a class A or a class B, in fact, you just don't need this. I like what you're trying to do there, is interesting, but you can actually just do that, and OL just means ordered list, so you don't even have to have a class with it, like so. And when you upload it, it looks the same. Good. And then it says here, finally, basic table, and the table looks good. I like your stylings. This is pretty cool how you've added in the styles, and that's all good. And again, the only thing I would do is take this style for it and just move it into your style section at the top. That way it's all consistent in the same spot, and when you need to find it, you can find it. Border 1 pixel solid black table. Save it. And there you go. Excellent. You should have, no, that's all you need for that. All right, going to activity 1.2 quickly. I saw you had something going on here, and that's fine. So I'll close this up, and here we go. Now, the one thing I saw here is that you've got this stray tag sitting here. So that's because right here where you had your ahref, you just need to have the beginning, the anchor tag. That's it. And then the source file, if you go back to your basics activity, I'll copy that, and your source file goes there. So the image source says, go there and grab this, and you put no border around it, that's fine. And then here, you said link it, and so when they click on it, it will go to that page. That was the one main fix, and the only other one is that we take the styles and we move them up here and just indent them nicely. So remember, they're just inside the head of the tag, or head of the body. And if I save that and upload it, there you go. So you're on your way. All right, good luck with the rest.